You are an MSP, starting marketing. You are lost in a new world. But soon, in this journey, you will be able to scale mountains. You will go from naked and afraid, like you, to a legend. But first, you need to study out, and you need to train until you can recite it yourself. Here, take this sacred tablet. Whoop. Gotta be quicker. Whoop. All right, here you go. Study that until you can recite it and teach it yourself.
A managed service provider usually manages most aspects of the IT infrastructure at a small, medium-sized business ranging from 1 to 100 employees. Now, there are MSPs that fall outside of this range and target larger organizations, provide projects for non-managed clients, etc. But I'll leave that up to you to understand the specifics of the company you work for or own. In the past, technology was a little simpler. Businesses would have their go-to IT person or company. My father-in-law loves telling the story about their desk. Here it is.
When Alltech started 20 years ago, technology was a lot simpler. Our techs would come in the morning, they'd pick up these paper tickets and they would go on site to our customers and solve their problems. As business technology has advanced, so have we.
As he mentioned, as IT has developed, so have we. The advent of the RMM, or Remote Monitoring and Management Solution, really changed the whole IT industry. Now, technicians could get great data on the computers and servers at a business and remote in to fix many of the issues that used to take a lot of time and effort to complete. Think about the drive time alone. While some of the OG MSPs came up with the recurring model on their own prior to it becoming mainstream, there was a push in the last decade to transition from break-fix model of call us when you need us to the recurring managed services model. Now, it's easy to think the primary benefit of this relationship is the IT company because we get the consistent cash flow and revenue typically went up in this model. However, we have to think about this for just a moment. Imagine a business did not have an MSP. They just wanted to call a company when they needed help. Let's picture that scenario for a second. A business calls Tech People Awesome Corp and said, "Our computers are offline." Wow, what a loaded sentence, but that's usually what would happen. In the MSP model, we have access to their network infrastructure, which is typically composed of a network modem that brings in the internet, a network firewall that filters that traffic like a water filter, network switches, which sends internet to the things plugged in, like computers and switches and access points and printers, etc. And access points. This is what provides the Wi-Fi, what we connect to when we are not hardlined into the wall, for instance. Think laptops and phones. The tech would be able to identify what was causing the issue and work for a quick resolution. That's pretty ideal. Now, imagine the other model. The tech on the phone would ask a bunch of questions. The business person would have no idea what a switch even is, or where it is, or what the hell it's doing. The tech would have to come on site and start trying to figure things out, which takes time and racks up bills. They would ultimately come to a conclusion, fix the issue, and send a bill, a big bill, that the business person may not be happy about. Everyone's life is easier on the managed services model. The business's network is mapped, documented, and the MSP has tools on the important components to get insight they otherwise wouldn't have. Now that we have covered the value and how quickly an MSP can respond in a reactive situation, let's cover the piece that is even more important, the proactive value. One way to stay proactive is to make sure all clients have similar hardware and services in place. For instance, making sure all clients are on Microsoft 365 for their email and productivity suite versus Google Workspace or vice versa. Having a mix of both can cause variation. Now, some MSPs do have variations in their stack, but for the most part, a standardized stack helps the MSP and client. This is the first step in that proactive journey. Let's hear Tim's perspective on this from Alltech.
Hello, I'm Tim Higgins, Operations Manager for All-Tech Services. At All-Tech Services, we focus on standardizing our solutions. We have what we call our box of best practices that includes all the solutions that we offer. This includes things like the branded firewall device, networking equipment, desktop antivirus, cloud solutions, and other security offerings. When we first start with a new client, they may not be fully in the box right away, but we work with them to budget and plan to move them towards our solutions over time. Additionally, to make sure our SOPs are implemented, and because we continually update them, we conduct audit projects where we'll run through all of our clients and make sure a solution is set up with our best practices.
The tools, hardware, services, and software an MSP puts in place is hyper important. The client needs their systems working, and they don't usually care what those things are. They just need it to work. So as long as the MSP can craft a great messaging, as we'll talk about in this course, they can fairly easily get new and existing clients to sign off on their recommendations. Marketing plays an extremely important role in making this happen easily. When an MSP says proactive, it's usually a loaded word. Let's go over some of the proactive components that an MSP actually provides. Internet providers and accounts documented. Alert if the internet goes down so we can reach out for you. Alert of suspicious activity on your network. Alerts of suspicious email activity. Actually testing your data backups. Alerts of hard drives on computer servers getting full. Ensure terminated employees are fully removed. Windows patch management. Third-party software updates. 24/7 security operations center. Proactive hardware lifecycle planning. X number of computers replaced per quarter, right? Like that's the proactive piece of that. Scheduled ongoing business planning with your dedicated technology experts. Those are all great examples of actual proactive work. Hopefully these specific examples will help you conceptualize what proactive actually means when the salespeople and owner of the MSP says it. Now, I can talk all day on what an MSP is, but I think this should provide a good overview to get you in the MSP mindset. Ideally, you would get to know the services your MSP provides so well that you would be able to run a sales meeting yourself. You may never need to, but it's still an exercise I encourage. The more I learned about the service, the easier it became to market and sell. Now, don't worry about getting IT certifications or anything like that. That has diminishing returns and an opportunity cost when your time would be better spent developing and executing your marketing strategy. However, active listening in meetings, weekly research in MSP and marketing industry, and speaking with sales are all encouraged so you get a more well-rounded perspective on what it is you're marketing. Next step, let's dive into specific examples of service tickets and projects an MSP may complete on a daily or weekly basis. New employee setup, new user onboarding, super important. Microsoft 365 support for Office products, emails, Teams, etc. Adobe Acrobat installation and assistance, internet connection issues, setting up users for remote work, VPN, remote desktop, etc. Picking up computers to recycle, server migrations and setup, moving businesses to the cloud, implementing effective cybersecurity layers and best practices, setting up scanning, failing hard drive, setting up new computers, PC freezing up, password resets. Love password resets. Can't use that in marketing, but there's a lot of those. Printer issues, OneDrive issues, respond to security alerts, access to server drives. If I had to sum up what we've talked about quickly, it'd be this. An MSP is an outsourced IT department for businesses. We do not support residential or break-fix IT, which is one-off projects. Every client pays us on a monthly amount ranging from about $500 per month to about $10,000 per month to manage most aspects of their IT, including email, servers, endpoints, computers, laptops, tablets, cybersecurity, protecting their data, help desk, they need someone to call when there's an issue, inventory, we can show them how many computers they have, how old they are, models, makes, users assigned, etc., and internet bandwidth. Every single business needs technology support because they oftentimes do not know how to set up new users or properly protect their organization's data. It is the foundation of every single business nowadays, as basically every business has computers and connects to the internet. Businesses prefer to work with a local business rather than large because they know the people and will oftentimes get a much faster and care-centric response to their issues. They don't feel like just a number. The last point that I want to make before I conclude is understanding the different departments of an MSP. I highly encourage you to schedule at least a quarterly meeting with each of these departments to get a better understanding of what they do and how what they do is changing very quickly. The department structure of an MSP usually looks something like this. Business development, which consists of sales, account management, and marketing. Sometimes one person is doing multiple roles. As an MSP grows, these should all be separated out in separate individuals in each role. Network administration, which houses a lot of the proactive roles such as alert monitoring and data backup and disaster recovery. Professional services, these are the team members that are completing projects like cable jobs, Microsoft 365 migrations, cloud migrations, and office moves and relocations. Security services is ideally a dedicated team for cybersecurity that keeps your clients protected with the latest in cybersecurity recommendations. Help desk, this is a core function of an MSP. When a client calls in, there's usually a dedicated help desk team to take that ticket and resolve it for the clients. This is the department your clients are interfacing with on a daily basis. And last, admin. This includes any admin work such as accounting and other administrative duties within the MSP. All right, we've made it to the end. Good job on powering through. Now that we have the lay of the land, we can jump into how we develop a powerful marketing engine for our MSP. Let's jump in.